I'm ready. I'm ready. I challenge you. Deal more damage than I have cards because we have plenty. Now you will see the true power of Grimoire Dimir. And we are doing cards for free. And let's go with Intimidation Campaign because that means we are getting more stuff. Oh, they are reading. They decided the card is worth reading. And I'll tell you, that's correct. Man, we refilled everything right now. Let's get it back to the hand. This is also our basically extra life. And I think this turn looks way better than that. And we don't need to discard because this gives you infinite hand size. So this is how you go for ultimate control. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today Dimir that simply cannot lose, because we are using Marina's Vendrell's Grimoire, which means that whenever we have 0 life or less, we still play the game, it doesn't matter. We are also drawing 5 cards, and every time we gain life, we draw that many cards. When you lose life, you discard, you don't care about it. Whenever we gain life, we draw that many cards, which means that Seize is 2 mana, draw 3 cards. Virtue removes a creature and draws 2 extra cards, and with Intimidation campaigns, we also gain life. So it's extremely easy to take like 10 cards, because you also don't have maximum hand size. So this is your ultimate Dimir control. You can have every card, every answer at the same time. And if you ever played with Lich Master, which some of you know is my absolutely favorite card, this is the same feeling that I had with Lich Master, and I didn't have this feeling since years. So guys, I hope you will enjoy. You will see everything in action. Have fun. Is that bandit talent or something else? Let's see. Alright, Disfigure is normally a nice draw. Here it probably will not matter too much. But it's fine, we'll use it at some point on something. And the cool part is that you can stack these figures. We are getting a little bit flooded, so that's not perfect. Let's see if they go for a counter spell, because this is our only value card that we drew in the whole game. Alright, so this is Dimir Toxic, we know exactly what's up. And that's scary, because we won't mill them in time probably. Alright, so they're wasting Proliferate triggers, they already wasted 2 of them. So that's kinda crazy. They want to hit their first poison trigger, so they only have this Phyrex and Fire Resist thing. And that can be a bit rough. I think we need to start doing cards here. That was 0 priority. We will know if they have removal, but later. I think we actually go like this. We try to get another Jace. Yep, here we go. They actually have removal right now. Oh, okay, this is perfect. Man, this is so good. They have Raskas for, yeah, that was the card I was expecting, to be honest. They really wanted it. Alright, I mean, we are doing something, and we drew a counter spell, which is super nice here. Whenever they go to 17 cards, you can draw more, but you know, it's not easy. Alright, and this is one of the problems. If you don't have opening that gets the poison going, I mean, this is really rough. Alright then, we go like this. I mean, sure, why not? You know what, we actually will go like this, because we have so much card advantage that we can just get a Jace to keep drawing cards over and over. They actually have Void hybrids, so maybe we should be careful, but I'm not careful, I just want to mill them. They're already at 11 cards, man. They didn't even start the poison, so Raskas 4, so they dealt with Jace. This is extremely good top deck for them. Raskas 4 and cast Jace, kill Jace. That's how we do it. Yep, here we go. And they started the poison, so the poison train starts. How do you rework? For having 0 or less life. Couldn't it be you cannot lose the game? That would be a better wording. So, what can we do? They don't have anything we want to Demo Field. We could get rid of something from their deck. I don't think it's worth it. I think we actually go like this. And we try to get some value with counter spells, maybe. They have the counter spells, I didn't see them so far, but they should be played. And every turn we are, you know, putting more lands into the board, so that's nice. Yeah, I think we wait one more turn and then play this. Alright, whenever you proliferate. I'll take it. I'll take it. If they counter it, that's okay. They actually cannot counter because we have 2 mana and they don't have triple poison. They also don't have instants. Alright, that's huge. Disfigure actually is useful here, but so is land. I think we actually play like this. This is super huge information. They have absolutely nothing. So we keep this because this will draw us cards. Yeah, I think with this, we won the game. Here we go, here we go. This is an artifact, so they cannot answer it in the whole game, basically. And now we have 10 cards and we are not discarding. Do I want to mana interact? I actually want to, because we gain more life by playing this. We can also exile something from the graveyard. Man, this is so cool. So now we are trying to take over full control over the game and try to counter everything. We also have Negate in the deck. So we actually have more counter spells as well. Alright, and now this is extremely scary card. Let's go for the hybrid. And maybe, I don't know. Let's well, you know what? We have Jace. Actually, let's only go for the creatures that matter. And I'm the player. I want to draw. Man, we will have so many cards. We don't need to discard anything. Oh man, I'm so happy. This is exactly how I wanted it. So they can counter it, but it's not super important. Like, we have plenty of stuff. And now we draw extra cards for this. Yep, we are drawing cards. We can play a land and instantly draw a card as well. So right now we will never lack cards. We just need to get them to 30. So I actually don't need more. We have literally everything we want for this turn. And we don't need to discard because this gives you infinite hand size. So this is how you go for ultimate control. And our opponent needs to burn through all of this. We have triple counter spells already. Every turn we are drawing more and more cards. We play lands because we never miss them. This is already 3 cards at the end step. 2 mana draw 3? Sign me up. Sign me up. Do we have something that we don't? Well, I guess they have the Forager. You know what? I actually will go for this into this. Alright, I changed my mind a little bit. I guess they need to cast it instantly. So instead of a counter spell, it should be Curiosity probably. But that's fine. And let's draw more cards. Oh yes, more cards. That's how we want it. You want to use maybe Mirex. And this is the cool part about the deck, because with this, you kinda have infinite answers to literally everything. Whatever your opponent draws, you have the answer. And that means you can just, you know, absolutely overtake them. We have Demolition Fields, we have counter spells, we have removal, we have more cardio. And whenever we lack answers, we just life gain something. Oh, that was the last basic. Good to know, good to know. We disfigure this guy. We could also go for Virtue and draw even more cards, but I'm so, you know, pumped with all the power that we don't need more. And music just broke, right? Or is it super silent? I don't know, I don't know, I don't hear it. Anyway, let's play the land. Well, you know what? I want more cards. Let's get more cards. By playing lands, we cardo. Man, imagine a land that comes tapped and draws you a card. It's not like you are countering it. You know, there's no problem in thinking long, but if you think long about countering a land, which kinda isn't possible, that shows that you are not really thinking. So we're just waiting for Jace basically at this point. When we have enough mana, so we go with this one, because I want more cards. So they're trying to avoid the counter spells, but the problem is that if they don't play into those counter spells, they're falling more and more behind. And we won't be casting Virtue, because that's the best way to lose this game. I actually will go... So on this turn we have basically 2 mana less than on the next turn. So if we wait 1 turn, Intimidation Campaign becomes basically free. Our opponent just is falling more and more behind, because we can draw way more than 1 card a turn. Sure. Absolutely, my friend. We could even deadly cover up it, if we care, but I honestly don't. Let's just take Golem goodbye. And, you know, the cannot be countered doesn't matter too much, but I think it's quick. It's fine. We can use it. I mean, sure. We could start countering stuff, because they can proliferate. So, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's get some card advantage. Because this is the end step, so if they go all in, if we hit Jace, we can already play it very easy. 32 cards, so they're actually on the verge of dying. Sure. So we countered this. See, they stacked all this mana. Imagine if we tapped a single point of mana. We actually would lose this battle. See, that was a perfect mana. And we got the perfect value. We killed a creature, we drew cards. Fountainports. I don't have a swamp. I have swamp. We actually want Fountainports more than swamps because they are win con. And our opponent is down to 4 cards, 1 poison. And we still have more. We actually have more. Nah, we don't need to. We can just draw cards easily. And we have Fountainport, so we can get even more value. So this draws 2 cards and life gains, so we draw even more cards. As you can see, our opponent is trying to catch us off guard. Because the poison is super deadly. For example, they could have triple augury into triple poison. So 3 cards could be 6 poison already. So we need to be a little bit careful. And here we go. Do I want more mana? Now let's just go with the fish. Yeah. I guess I need to get rid of one of the cards. It will be Verge. Great. Alright. Alright, they will try to kill it. That's fine. As long as they don't get poison triggers from this, it's fine. They are down to 4 cards. And they need to really fight against our insane value. You know what? I will just speed it up. Because this guy plays so slowly, I actually will change the gameplay to just accommodate for it. So, we have 6 mana on the next turn, we can go for 3 steps ahead, but they have hard counter spells. Man, they really like to tank about every single click of the button. Even I, Sloth, don't play so slow, you know? Alright, so, let's see it. This is their turn, we tapped super heavily and they are for some insane troubles. Let's go for this one. Honestly, I would need more mana if I could. And we don't really care about all this damage because we have so many cards if we want to. Whenever we target something, we get Intimidation Campaign back and all of this stuff. So what do we want to take? Do we have some cool spells? Oh, we actually have very cool spells. I cannot proliferate, so let's go with this one. We take this. This is a crime, so we get it back. Alright. And let's cast some cool spells. I think I will exile something from the graveyard. I'm not sure how much I need to pay. Like, I just want to play this part, so I will try to go for 2, and we see if that's okay. Is that okay? Nope. Nope. I can actually play their stuff, but we don't want to. Alright, I will play the Augury then. I guess that was the play for the turn. Because we have actually 2 Jace in the last 18 cards, that's kinda crazy. Let's go for this to keep drawing cards if we want. We will actually go up to the last card probably. And they're at 30, so they will lose. This is a very nice draw. Let's get more. This is what happens when your double Jace is on the bottom of your library, but we are still getting to it. And let's get 1 Intimidation Campaign. We can tap this much. Look at how much more we have. We have more cards, more creatures, and more lands. And this is why they are falling way more behind. Alright, good. First Jace. We are not casting it yet, because we will force them to answer the fish. Yep, here we go. So they need to answer this damage. And that means they need to tap and Jace takes them. So we have basically 2 different win cons and both of them will be enough to win the game. Because we have full control over this match. We have 2 counter spells. Edict, sure. Non-token creature. Absolutely, my friend. I will just take it on the next turn. So as long as they don't... Man, they actually built 1 poison during the whole game because we have so many counter spells and we kept them at bay. So pressured always. Alright, so we go fish. And as you can see, you have so many cards, you can just keep exiling. I honestly thought Deadly Cover-Up will be super important and we'll just get rid of their stuff, but they're they are not doing too much, so I think we don't even need this. And they can go for a lot of poison triggers at the end step, but it doesn't matter. So we can just take this damage. I want to be as aggressive as possible here. And let's take... I mean, this guy has the most attack, so let's take it. Because that's the fastest lethal. We take it to hand because we have infinite hand size. Like, I'll tell you what, I'm having way more fun than my opponent in this game. We decline respectfully, and we just take it for damage. We play the land, we draw more cards. I should probably play the Reef, because we can go for lethal very quickly, but I like drawing those 2 cards a turn. And we swing, alright, the 3 damage. So this will be 5 fish on the next turn, and 3 from this, so this is 8 damage on the next turn. As you can see, they already need to start defending against the fish of them, because the end is inevitable. And I actually don't think we need to do anything more. All we need is just Fountainports. That's why we have Fountainports in the deck. They are so much better at closing game. And they want to get rid of this. They just don't want it on our side. And down to 2 cards, so in best case scenario, they have like Auguries. They actually cannot poison us anymore. Sure. I will go for this play. If we are doing it in a big way, we are going for the big way. I didn't want to tap Fountainport, but I guess I cannot make another fish. So this really hopes for counterspell, but it seems that they don't have it. 1 Reef can go. So we are preparing the lethal on board, while Jace is still in the hand and in the deck. Because this way we close the game. I think they might have 1 counterspell, and they are waiting for the Jace to fight for it. And we only have 1 counterspell, so I don't want to focus only on this game plan. Sure. As you can see, the fish is getting the pressure. Let's get rid of this Disfigure. And I really hope for more creatures so I can use my cool removal. But apparently not the case. Let's go for the hybrid. This also prevents them from getting the value. And... I mean, I should probably swing with this one as well. Why not? Why not? We mill them as well. Maybe they get some hybrids. Here you go. 1 hybrid and 1 fairy for us. Alright, so that should be end. On the next turn we are going for lethal, even without Jace. So that's always nice when you can finish the game without relying on Jace fully. But it's extremely good win console. Yeah. Okay, this is the one that we care about a little bit. Let's kill it in response, and we get it back on the next turn. So our opponent is trying to get anything done, and we deny literally every poison trigger during the whole game. And I didn't think we'll be so good at defending. See, that was the 1 counterspell I mentioned. Yep, and they're dead. They had to use it because they are dying on the next turn. Oh my god, this was a long game, but I actually really enjoyed it. Let's go with the island so we can prepare it with the Verge. Man, Verge is such a good deck. Such a good deck. Such a good land. It's just so great overall. Alright, here's the Disfigure. As we know, every time you remove a red creature, that means you give value to the owner. That's how it works. That's how it works. Let's go with the Verge. However, this is pretty slow, so we want to take control over the game before we kill it. So this 1 card doesn't help him to make better plays. Alright, interesting. And as long as your core of the deck is red with haste creatures, you can basically splash anything and it works. Do I care about this guy? I think this is a good removal target for this figure. Oh, but... oh, I guess... Alright, you got me. You are getting this card, because I actually want them to discard. So they will get the card, but they need to play it on the next turn. And... oh, alright. This is something we will counter on the next turn. So we will definitely hold mana for 3 steps ahead. A little bit unfortunate, but with Grimoire we should be able to recover all the value. And now they had to discard a card. It's not super impactful, so not the biggest deal, but still. Let's go for maybe a creature, I don't know, let's go for this, because they might play Delirium or something. Okay, this is a decent draw. This actually answers everything, right? So, can I afford... I mean, this is a 2-2. That means I just need this figure. So, okay, so we played this, then we unlock 3 steps ahead on the next turn, so they really have to play Denley. They will. And that means we kill it, and that should be fine. We also have Negate in case they have protection spells. This doesn't trigger anything by attacking, so let's do the think at the end step. They might play more creatures, they might tap the mana, you know, you have no downsides. And we get rid of their best card. This is the card that makes the whole deck tick. Without it, they do way less. And that means we are getting to Grimoire phase of the game. What are you? Attacking creature. And what's the other part? Exile 2 cards. This is really good negate target. And it also opens 3 steps ahead in the worst case, but of course we want to draw those sweet cards. Alright. No. Man, that's just a habit, you know? It's just a habit. Sorry, I just need to remove it. I forgot. Alright, and this is the only thing that survived. Oh, they are not happy. They are not happy. However, right now we don't need to do much, and that's the cool part about this Grimoire. You can actually use all the life to get more time. You don't... This is so tempting. However, if I do it, I might actually get betrayed. See? That would be a problem. And now it's not. Unfortunately, we will discard one of the new cool cards. Because Grimoire is so insanely good in this situation. This also gives us life gain. Sure, you go for it, champ. You go for it. You know what? I'm ready. I challenge you. Deal more damage than I have cards, because we have plenty. And with double virtue, we actually are drawing so many new cards. Sure, go for it. So this will be Demo Field, this and this. Easy. I fear nothing. And that was their turn. What? Now you will see the true power of Grimoire Dimir. And we are doing cards for free every turn. Here it is, more cards. Man, you can see how much we can do with this. And let's go with Intimidation Campaign, because that means we are getting more stuff. Oh, they are reading. They decided the card is worth reading. And I'll tell you, that's correct. And we refilled everything right now. Let's get it back to the hand. This is also our basically extra life. And I think this turn looks way better than that. Oh yes, just smoked aggro in the morning. Even though you know that you will meet some mono-reds. So we use 2 first turns on the removal, then this one will be untapped, so you use next 2 turns to counter spell. Alright, that's an interesting one. I honestly think we can go through it. Like, this is not something we need to counter on this turn. The problem is that because I took this, I expected mono-red, not skeletons. That means they can go for the skeleton thingy. And that means we are extremely behind for the rest of the game. Normally we would counter it, however here we cannot. So that's bad. And let's go for this. Yep. I want to keep Bitter Triumph for later. Alright, however, if they want to get it back, then we can counter the next one. But that was really rough. If I knew what the matchup is, I would play differently and prioritize counter spell first on turn 3. 3 damage is okay, we can take it. They need to play something, otherwise we are getting a little bit ahead, and we can go even for fish, which trades against this very easily. They can use removal to get rid of this, but I don't think it's great still. Like, we can tank it for like 4 next turns. Especially that we have Grimoire, so if you are low you can just play Grimoire and have 10 cards, and that's basically 10 life. So we pass the turn. I would love to hit a land on this turn, so that's a little bit rough, because this is 5 mana, so super important, but we'll try to make it work. We'll block here. I guess they have manas, but I can take more damage. Okay, this is interesting. This already has haste. But I don't want to counter it yet. They will get it back, and they can recast it on the next turn. I honestly will go for this play. I think this is good enough because it gets rid of 2 cards. They can use Case on the next turn, and they will go for Corpses of the Lost. and then we have to counter it. Yeah, our opponent is just thinking about using the Stifle to counter activated ability, and unfortunately they decided that it's not in the format. Forever for a like, why would you not do it? Oh my god. Yes. They also sacrificed extremely good cards, so they made such a weird play, bro. Cool. You could also do this before attacking, and we wouldn't be able to block this, so they wouldn't waste 3 damage. So we need to take 5 damage on this turn and counter Corpses of the Lost. Because we don't have 5 mana, we are extremely slow. Like, we could make like twice as many plays if we hit the 5th land, but of course it's only 26 lands, so it's expected to keep missing over and over. We counter it without taking 5 minutes to think about it. That's our hidden power. And yeah, we take 5 damage. I really think they did a very weird thing. Can I draw a 5th land and sweep everything? Nope. The answer is nope. So we go like this. And this actually won't activate ever. But it's good to know that they have Delirium, because we can start tailoring our plays for them. Oh, it already happened? How did they get 2 types on this turn? I think it was 2 out of 4. Oh, this is artifact and a creature, sure. So, can't attack or block. I actually think we go like this, and we'll make a stop here before combat phase. We'll see what the mill is, so we know what to exile. We probably go enchantment and artifact. So they want to smork. That's what they do. So we get rid of this guy. And then this is enchantment. Those are both enchantments, so let's actually go for a creature. And we draw a card. Alright. So now this cannot attack anymore, so they only deal 2 damage, and we live gain 2, so they actually didn't do anything. We get a new card, so that should give us the 5th land on the next turn. Then we sweep the board and they have nothing. Then they scoop, and they can think 2 minutes about every move in different game. That's how we roll with fast aggro decks. Here you go, they press the button. Can I draw a land and win the game, please? I drew a land and win the game. Alright, so we definitely go for this. This is already 8, and now we go for Corpses of the Lost, which is basically the only good card in this deck. And we exile it. So now their deck just lost 90% of power. Cool. Now we don't need to hold counter spells. I mean, you can check it, but it seems to be a very random build. At least they won't think, wow, that's a good top deck from the top right. They actually only can play the recruiter part, they cannot play the other one. So that's fun. They instantly redraw into more damage. That's fine, we are still winning the game. And now we are stacked with counter spells. We could take this damage, but I won't. We don't want to go too low. That's some good chain of draws, man. Alright, you got it. You got your good top decks. And now we will answer everything and take you out of the misery of making decisions in this game. I'll tell you, man, this was really slow. This was painfully slow for no reason. Alright, now they can pass the turn, and whenever you untap with 3 steps ahead for full mana, you know that you are in a very good spot. We actually will go for treasure. I don't need blockers, I don't want to pay mana. As long as we have enough mana to cast everything, we should be absolutely fine. And we're not casting Virtue, because this is the way that we can die instantly. So yeah, we just keep the counter spell. Against anything they can play. Counter, draw. This one has haste, so we kinda want to avoid it. We cannot hit it with Virtue of Persistence, and thanks to treasure we can go for the fraud. Yeah, you need to do it. Yep, here we go. So sneaky, so brave. So I think we don't need too many virtues, honestly. I want the land, and we just need one. Alright, I'm getting a lot of virtues anyway. Yeah, that should be absolutely fine. We have a negate against everything that isn't a land. Let's go like this. We want a lot of mana. And I think this is the turn when we can go for it. Because that means we have counter spells or just removal. So if that's a non-creature we counter, if that's a creature we kill it. And now we can start getting some cool value. Alright, our opponent left the game. Well, I'm so happy you have seen this one. If you watched until the end, you are a true hero and fellow Dimir enjoyer, because this is the card I wanted to make deck since day one. I just needed the right build. I actually made some of the deck with this one on like day 2 or day 3. However, my opponent removed it and I was at minus life and I realized, well, I need to make an actual control deck around it. So now we are revisiting, and this is as glorious as I hoped. Man, I really am a Lich Master, enjoyer, and I played with that card so much, and this gives exactly the same feeling. With this type of effect, you just play live game cards, and that gives you also maximum hand size. And when I tried Lich Master, I always had this land library that gives you infinite hand size, because it's so fun to play with like 15, 20 cards. I would love, we can actually use step in between worlds, because you can actually shuffle the library and basically get new 40 cards, because the only problem with this type of deck is that you might mill yourself. That's why it's incredibly important that you play Jace. This is the one card that allows you to win the game, because even with Fountainport and Reefs, you can sneak win against lower value decks. Stronger decks will just wait until you mill. You need to be aware of this, and this is extremely good just to get control over the game. That's why we also need to play counter spells, because we need to make sure that we can force our win cons, because at some point you will hit your power spike with this deck and you just have like 5-10 cards more than your opponent, and you need to push for lethal in this moment, because at some point they will draw their library and you will draw your library and you are even, but this gives you this extra push. So guys, before we talk about the rest of the deck, because there's so much, we actually didn't talk about some interactions at all. A huge thank you to our amazing patrons. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, especially. This is such a close archetype to my heart and I love playing like this, so I hope you enjoy, and really thank you for your support. It's very nice from you. Cease and Desist is the card that I thought about using it, and then I realized that this is basically the only live game card that black mana has, and it's actually extremely good. The exile effect is so much better than you think. Even against Dimir Toxic, we actually could get rid of all the voidlings or whatever it's called. And the most important part, you don't invest card into this. Worst case, you just cycle card and imagine you draw into one of those. So it's no drawback basically. You only pay 2 extra mana, and that's the biggest problem with the card, and that's never a problem. I honestly never drew this and thought, well, I'm unhappy. I'm always happy, and with this deck you can save it, because when you play this you draw 5 cards. If you can cast this on top of this is 8 cards already, even despite having exiling that can win you the game on its own against like Azorius Reanimator thing or something. So this gives you so much cards that you can discard 5 cards even if they hit you super hard, and still keep 3 best cards, for example Virtue, Intimidation Campaign and Counterspell. And when you untap, you start getting so many new cards that you will get ahead. And I know this gameplay pattern because Lich Mastery decks that I was playing for a year with different versions, I played probably like 15-20 decks with Lich Mastery. I know exactly this pattern. You just need to set it up, survive, and then you go crazy. And especially with no maximum hand size, it's just so fun because you can get all the answers. You don't need to, well, do I need a remover or maybe counterspell or maybe a land? You take all of them, literally every card at the same time. So it's really fun. Honestly, I'm super happy with this archetype. I think it's very fun. We have enough removal to stay relevant, and with this we can actually outvalue a lot of decks. And the key interaction, the most fun interaction, usually Dimir has some issues with stabilizing because we have less life gain than, for example, Azorius or something, and this actually fully mitigates the problem, because you can first live gain with this even if you don't hit Grimoire. However, if you have this in the hand, you actually don't need any life total. You can just go to 2, then you play it. So in one of the games against Boros, we actually were at 18 life and I had this in the hand. So I knew that I can give my opponent so much free damage and they will be like, yeah, I'm winning. In reality, they are actually wasting time, because if I can set this up better, it's super worth it, because the life total doesn't matter. As like you completely change the type of the game you are playing, and suddenly it's not like they can burn you for the last 2 or 3 life because you didn't draw a life gain in 7-10 cards. You actually, every card is life gain. So imagine you draw 5 cards, that means 5 extra life, and your opponent is drawing 1 card a turn. So even if they get lightning strike, that means it's not enough. So that's the part I really like. Moment you hit this, you change completely the gameplay. One thing you need to be careful: some decks can remove artifacts, and then in this matchup you don't want to go below 0, because they can actually kill this and then you die. So you need to be aware if your opponent has a way to remove it. The decks that suffer the most from this card are the ones that cannot remove it. So aggro decks, red aggro decks, all of this stuff. However, Shelter by Ghost can remove this, and that's the most popular one. However, that's why we have Long Goodbye. We can kill it in response, and with Grimoire you should have all the answers in the world, so your opponent shouldn't be able to have a creature, not even talking about Sheltered by Ghost on top of this. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed. This Dimir is very close to my heart. I really enjoyed playing with this, and the gameplay pattern is just full control mode. You have all the answers, all the cards, you have full control over the game. This is the feeling you won't get with most other decks, because 7 cards and 15 is a big difference. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. You are absolutely awesome. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow.